On today's show, the ESA has a pretty good idea for how they might get space junk out of orbit.
And an artist uses her heartbeat to create the beat of a song. You can't beat that.
I want to beat you.
Then your part.
And robot babies.
Nope.
Just creepy. That's all I can say about it. It's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm your host, Ashley Skella. Join me as always, Facepalm Anonymous, who is upset at his own bad joke.
You can't say it's the best talk show in the known universe when we start like that.
I think we can.
All right, fair enough.
I do think we can. Haven't you ever heard of, like, just willful ignorance?
Yeah. So we don't watch any other shows.
Willfully ignorant to the fact that intro was horrible.
Okay.
Or maybe I just, you know.
So let's try and save it with some news stories.
Let's try to do that. Let's hit the headlines.
Oh, space junk.
Space junk. Space junk is a problem. Did you know that that NASA estimates there are over 21,000 pieces of debris in our orbit? 21,000, and that's only pieces that are bigger than 3.9 inches.
And it's just rotating around.
It's floating around. Well, you saw gravity.
Yeah.
Very serious. Space junk is a very serious problem, you guys.
Okay.
So this is an issue. It's only going to get worse as we start doing commercial space travel and all these other things that are going on. So the ESA has thought of this great idea. It's a very short video, but you can see in the left side of the screen there's a net. There's a net in there. And that's what they think might be a great idea to help capture and remove junk, nets. Nothing but nets. So you can see here's a little simulation of how it would work. They are basically testing something kind of similar to fishing nets. They're like space fishing nets. And they used a Falcon 20 aircraft to simulate weightlessness. They get about 20 seconds of weightlessness. So they were doing tests. They used I love this. They had a compressed air ejector that like shoots the nets out. And then they captured little model satellites. Like they made little model derelict satellites and like put them inside this Falcon chamber, which I thought was really cool. And they're saying that thinner nets work better than thick nets, which I thought was interesting because you would think that maybe thicker nets would be stronger, but they said, no, actually it's the other way around. Thinner nets work better because they can handle objects rotating, and they can also, they are a little bit more flexible in terms of being able to wrap all the way around something maybe a little bit bigger.
What are they going to do with all the junk once they get it?
Well, so I would imagine a lot of it would probably burn up upon re-entry. Like if you grabbed kind of medium-ish size stuff. I mean, bigger stuff, I think you'd probably have to calculate getting it, like dropping it into the ocean, I guess.
Yeah. Then it's water junk.
Then it's just earth junk.
Yeah.
Which isn't really a solution. But I would imagine a lot of it would burn up on re-entry. It just needs to get back into atmosphere so it'll light up. But they were saying they are looking to incorporate this into what they're calling their E-deorbit mission, which is a mission that wants to test various ways of removing space junk in 2021. So it's a few years out, but that's like part of their mission. They're like working on these various ways. And some of the other ways that they're testing are very interesting.
Okay.
They are studying harpoons. So they're gonna go out and shoot it like a space whale. Ion beams.
Cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very sci-fi sounding.
Yep,
and robotic arms. Robotic arms. So they would like send something out, have a little arm, it would grab it, and then they would, I don't know what with it at that point.
Toss it back on Earth?
No, throw it farther into space.
Oh,
just get it out of orbit and just send it right out into space. That's what I would do. I just model it after.
That's
like
what I thought the answer was going to be. That they're just going to throw it further away, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
All right.
Just throw it like and make it hit Jupiter. Well, if they can get it in Jupiter's orbit at some point, then it'll just land there and it'll be fine.
Okay.
So a big giant. We can make Jupiter Earth's landfill, which is the worst idea I've ever heard of. But it kind of is already because it would take forever to fill up, though. That's all I'm saying. And
we wouldn't see on the surface.
It already has so many like dead asteroids on it. It's like it protects us. Jupiter protects us from so many asteroids because of its gravitational pull.
Thanks, Jupes.
Thanks, Jupes. All right, tell me about this musician because you saw her.
Yeah, so Toki Monsta, who is actually an artist, actually I enjoy, was at South by Southwest, and South by Southwest is a movie, tech, and music festival, and this was a combination of the music and tech, because this is her. This is Toki Monster. She's actually LA based. But what she did was she used a stethoscope, a Littmann stethoscope, to record her heartbeat, and then she turned it into a song. She made it the beat of a song. She started with the vocal loop, yes.
Right? Okay.
And mixed it into her set. And it was great. Like, I was there. I didn't realize that was happening, but she did an interview afterwards. And she seemed pretty excited about it. She did this at the 3M Life Lab. So, I mean, that's what South by is all about, is kind of like mixing those things, trying out new stuff. And Toki Monster's really good. You check her out. She's really good. But yeah, it's... that's pretty cool, right?
That is really cool. And I've heard that in this video, your arm is like just off to the left.
I'm really, really far off to the left in the bottom. You can see my arm. I put it up at one point and go like this, because that's what you do at a concert.
You're like, that's my hand.
You do this thing. Let's see. I don't know if you can see it.
I don't know if we'll be able to see it. If you see it, we'll point it out.
I'm not the guy in the front getting really down to it. That guy's having a great time.
Super into it. He looked back. Maybe he just recognized you. We don't know.
Oh, that might have been me a little bit.
I don't think we're gonna see your hand.
No, you definitely do. You just give me like 3 more seconds. One.
We're gonna wait for this whole entire song to go by. It's gonna be so depressing.
Oh well. Well, it's really great.
I love that she did this live. Like that she pulled the sample of her own heartbeat live and integrated it into a song right there. Like it wasn't like, oh, I pre-recorded it.
It's sampling, you know. Like,
I just love that she wasn't
easy.
like, oh, I pre-recorded it in LA and brought it here on a flash drive. Like she's like, no, I'm gonna do it live. Like. This is it, live, my heartbeat right now into this song. Like that's talent.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I wish that would be kind of cool to do a whole album, like the Heart album or something like that. Just
that
do
would be delightful.
Different organs.
You couldn't call it This Sick Beat because I think Taylor Swift trademarked that
You
phrase.
just said something illegal.
I gotta give you a nickel, Taylor Swift. But you could call it like These Fresh Beats. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. You could.
These Heartbeats.
These Heartbeats. You could do that. That's
All
good.
right.
Look for Kale's new album, These Heartbeats, dropping this fall on iTunes.
It's fire. I like it.
Okay, so very last story today, Robo Babies.
All right, I'm out of here.
Yep, let's just, you know what? Let's just go. Let's just leave. No, we have to talk about it. It's actually kind of cool. Okay, so Kale, if you had a guess, sit down, please. The Robo Babies are not here. They're not here.
Yet.
If you had a guess, oh yeah, trust me, we're gonna talk about this. If you had a guess why studying infants is difficult, what would those reasons be?
They grow up.
That's one of them. Yeah, that's a good one.
Also, they're delicate.
Yes, they're very delicate. They get bored easily. You could probably argue that.
That's not where I'd go with it, but
They just get bored. They poop.
They get bored.
They poop.
I thought that was actually kind of a benefit.
If you have a baby in a lab.
So why do we need Robo Babies?
All right, so well, it's difficult to study babies because obviously you can't keep a baby in a lab all the time. They actually have to go home and like live their lives.
Enjoy their family's
just like
companionship.
you can't, just like you can't have people in a lab all the time unless you were, keeping them captive. But the thing is the Indiana University Bloomington College of Arts and Sciences, that's a mouthful, is using robot babies. I know.
I was absolutely right about how creepy they were.
They
Just
are
FYI, if you're only listening.
Super creepy.
Okay.
So they're doing some testing about the robot baby. I'm more interested in the fact that just these exist. Like I'm a little scared, but what they're doing is they're using them to test how posture and body positions factor into early learning. And so with normal babies, like what they're doing is they program these babies. They're designed to move and act like infants, and then they take the data from these very controlled experiments, because that's one thing about robots that you can do, that you can't really do with babies, is have a very highly controlled environment. And then they compare them to light testing on actual infants, and they say, oh, this is exactly the same. So this is something that we could sort of infer based on the data that we have available. So in this particular situation, they are learning that babies tend to associate posture and body poses. They tend to associate those things with specific objects and their names. So they'll show the robot, they'll like make a posture and show an object like a red ball in one hand, and then they'll show like a blue truck or something in the other hand. And they'll make very specific gestures about it so that the baby or the robot baby associates that with that posture.
The gesture with the object. Okay.
Then later they'll show them one object and see if they recognize it or reach out for it as if they, associated it with something. And if they had done the posture stuff, they did. They totally like knew what that object was, like they were aware of it. But if not, if they didn't do the posture thing, the robot wasn't aware and couldn't associate.
Okay.
So they were saying that like a lot of times when babies learn, your posture can be sort of a like a trigger, like a memory trigger to an object.
It's an association.
It totally is an association experiment. So that's what they're doing with robot babies.
Is that all they're doing with that baby? Or?
You know, I'm gonna guess not. I'm gonna guess that they're probably teaching them to murder everybody. That seems like. I guess robots won't like spit up on your lab coat, but you definitely have to worry about them actually killing you in your sleep. Like, so it's a kind of a trade-off.
It's really interesting.
The
I'm
faces
trying to figure
are
out, so why?
scary.
I'm still trying to figure out why they couldn't test that on babies, because there's just no.
Well, you can, but the thing is babies.
I like that they had the sensor and they could like kind of read.
Babies lose focus very easily, so it's kind of hard. And the other thing is you can't push them. Like you can't say, oh, you need to keep doing this, baby, for 5 hours, or otherwise you're not going to get fed. Like you can't do that to a baby. You can't do it to a person anyway. But you can't like. It's easier to do tests like this on adults because adults know they're being tested. They know they should sit. They know they should focus. You can't really do that with a baby.
And so they programmed the robot based on feedback they've gotten from a real baby.
No, they design it to sort of act like an infant would, and then what they do is they do these experiments, and then they have shorter, smaller, like sort of lighter weight versions of the same experiment with actual real life babies, human babies.
Okay.
And then they say, okay, well, this happens in both. So like we can test this baby more, this robot baby more, to give us more data on instead of making a baby.
Yeah. All right.
So there you go.
Nice.
Super creepy
Yeah.
though.
Very, very, very weird.
We
and
have
very
our
strange
we
and
got our
scary.
nightmare fuel of the week.
They look like they're from Friday night at Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I know, it's true. That's the award for Nightmare of the Week, sponsored by Freddy Krueger. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we've got a great mod squad. It's not Star Wars. Somebody was like, "You guys always do Star Wars mod squad." I know, I'm sorry, but this week is not. So there you go. I did it just for you,
dude.
Internet complainer person. And we also have your user feedback, more VR versus AR madness, and of course our phone talker for the day. So don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. Welcome back to the show. As I mentioned before the break, Mod Squad did a lot of Star Wars stuff. Last week when you were gone, there was a speeder bike that had a scout trooper on top, and the guy like drilled the front of its like little action figurehead and put a camera in there, so he gave like first person view.
Oh, that's really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But this week we actually have something a little bit different, and it's pretty neat. This is real life physical Space Invaders using a laser cutter machine.
Oh.
This is weird. Like I saw it and I'm like, this is super clever, but also one of those things where you're like, somebody had a lot of free time to think about this. And actually that's true. The guy who did this, his name's Martin Rainsford. He is from a laser cutter. He works for this laser cutter site called Just Add Sharks. It took him, I believe, 4 months to plan this idea, and then a handful of days to make it actually work. So what you're seeing in the video right now are the little Space Invaders, and there is an actual laser blasting these little Space Invaders and lighting them on fire because they're made of paper.
Oof.
It's like pew, 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 pew. So yeah, so here he is, and this is very interesting. So he modded a laser cutter to vaporize little paper versions of Space Invader aliens, and it uses Arduino. So he does this he tested out like exactly how far apart he needed to sort of space out the paper and stuff, because he said there were a lot of tests where he would do one and the whole thing would just light up. He's like, and that didn't really work. He's like, so in these situations, I mean, these are kind of his test. These are sort of test stuff.
Okay.
But the finished one where he has like an actual webcam mounted where you can see like a perfect view, like straight up and down. It's so crazy. I love that this guy like thought this up and made it happen. So here, the laser printer just going. The game's controlled by keys on a keyboard, so super simple controls.
Oh, all right. See, now it's moving. I was like, that was my biggest problem here. Is that's how you play Space Invaders.
It moves, and the laser like pops all these little guys. And he said, and I love this quote, "I thought about mounting a rotating mirror behind the Space Invaders so they could shoot back, but I decided I like my eyes a bit too much." Because it is, I believe it said it was like an 8-watt laser. This is like a really powerful, because it's a laser cutting machine. I mean, this is like a serious laser machine. So he took some risks, but made it work. That is really weird.
Yep.
I really like that.
That is Space Invaders IRL, though. I guess that's pretty much as close as we're gonna get.
That is as close as you're gonna get, and they'll burn down, and that's it. And you can see the laser like every now and again. You see it like spark the thing. Pow, pow.
Insane, crazy,
Like
crazy,
just,
crazy
4
find
months.
on that one.
4 months to put that together. So nice job, Martin. Nice job. That's what I'm saying. Great work.
Great work.
Okay, guys, we got to get back into the VR versus AR war. So
This is the best.
Let's hit your user feedback. All right, VR versus AR part 2.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's been a long day since yesterday. Let's hear it.
I know.
What do we got?
I know. Eric wrote in and said AR for sure. Another vote for AR.
Uh-huh.
Integration into mainstream media and consumer electronics could be huge. Time will tell. Great show.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you. A lot of people said they really liked our debate about that.
Oh, good.
Jesus wrote in and said, for the geophysicist wife, AR would be great. Seeing water, oil, and mineral deposits on site would revolutionize field work.
I like that he's thinking of his about job.
Yeah, you're just a job.
Think about a job.
Think about job.
Put it.
Don't think about grammar or English.
Last guy was all about life. This guy about job.
Yeah. Last guy media. This guy job. Joseph wrote in and said, I am so excited about AR because I love the idea of spending a bit of money to get a TV size ranged from 10 inches to 150 inches that I can change.
Yes, this guy's on the same page as me. That's what I'm all about. I don't need a screen.
No, not anymore. Apparently not.
When I go to like the kitchen to go and
you just want to keep watching.
Get another piece of pizza, I just bring it with me. I'm just like, oh no. Carl, you got eaten by that zombie.
Coral.
No, I'm talking about Walking Dead.
I know. I call him Coral because that's what it sounds like in the show where he's like, Coral.
Oh.
It's like, where's Coral?
I got to listen for that. I bet you I can't.
I laugh every time because it always, to me, when he's upset, it sounds like Coral. And it just cracks me up.
I'm going to have to listen for that.
It's like, Coral. Like, it's just so funny to me. Okay, and then Ansel wrote in and said AR is better because if you think about it, in AR you could just have a screen obscure your entire view to effectively be VR.
Yay!
You're a wise man, a wiser man than me. Apparently, I'm the only person who picked VR.
The thing with VR, though, is that you can escape this.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
world that we're in.
Escape. That's what
There's only so much AR can actually add, as far as we know, but it's still going to be based on the world around you. I think a lot of people are just excited to kind of accentuate everything that's around them.
Again, yeah, consumer, like mainstream consumer AR, like the niche stuff VR. It seems like that's like. It feels like that might be the split.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people haven't actually gotten a chance to check out some of the newest VR,
yeah, that's
and so
true.
They haven't really gotten to mess around with that. Like Google Cardboard, just get one of those, try it out.
Yeah, get a little.
We were trying it out in the studio earlier.
Pretty fun.
It's pretty cool. Easy
and then lastly, we have one more. Kylie wrote in and said, "Why not both? Let me be confused about which reality I'm in. The more it messes with my head, the more I'll pay."
So you're gonna put on both, Kylie?
I guess so. I don't know.
AR in VR?
Sure. AR
it's
in
like
VR.
The Matrix inside the Matrix. That'd be.
That's meta.
Yeah, super cool.
It's really meta.
All right, so AR seems to be what everyone's excited about.
It looks like people are just really picking AR.
That's HoloLens, and then that's Leap Motion.
Magic Lens.
Magic Leap. So it's Magic Leap and HoloLens are currently the two that we're keeping our eye on.
Guess so.
So we'll see if Apple comes out with something.
We're watching you.
We'll see if Nintendo.
Google will probably probably redesigning Google Glass. I know they mentioned this week they were like, oh, we may have just like kind of oversold it a little too early.
Oh, you think?
In its development, and then the entire universe who read that article was like, yeah, you did.
Hey, Google Glass was necessary to have to like kind of
got
get
people excited.
Excited
it's a
interested.
Little push.
It's very stupid. But I've seen a
Some
lot of people
liked
wear it at conventions and do like.
I don't see it anymore.
VO. Can you imagine if someone did the meerkat, like did meerkatting, but
that
with
would
the
be great.
headset on?
Live streaming with your.
But it's not like people haven't done that. That's how Justine got started, even before her whole
you just set up little
thing.
spy glasses.
Nobody watched it then.
Forehead.
Justin TV. That's how they did that whole
Justin
thing.
TV. Oh, kicking it old.
So I bet you that's going to come back around.
I'm sure.
AR, and then you're going to be watching somebody else while you're doing your live. you're not gonna look at trees anymore. You're just gonna be looking at videos of trees.
Unless, I was gonna say, unless you're looking at actual just videos of trees or augmented trees. Like you're in your yard and it's just barren, but you're like, I would like desert landscaping, and then it just like puts plants, fake plants in it. You're like, very nice.
That's depressing.
That is really depressing. So that's what I'm saying. Like just VR, just throw me in a whole virtual world. Like that's fine. All right, and it's time for our very last piece of user feedback, which is always our photographer of the day. We have a next.
Wait, what have you had to pay for different levels of like things to unlock? So like you can make trees, but that's like tier 2.
Are you talking about in-app augmented reality purchases, IARP? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, I won't do it. What if you have to wait
yeah,
a
but if
specific
someone's
period
like,
of time? You're like,
look at
oh.
how beautiful it is. You're like, I can't see that I'm tier 1. I'm not tier 2. I have to buy, I have to download.
But what if you just buy it like an app? Yeah, you just buy that like an app.
And then you're gonna have to like.
But I don't think it's a tier thing. I think it's like, oh, well, this app does this thing, and you're like, oh, I better buy that, and then you spend $20.
But imagine if like you went to a concert and you go to the concert and you can get an extra close screen to see what's going up on stage, but you also get like all these cool stadium effects if you go like the next level up on your thing.
So your ticket price or whatever, where they're like, hey,
this is just one access point for me describing
I'm saying,
this,
like where they were like, okay, well, if you buy the cheapest ticket, you only get this feed. If you buy the next, more expensive,
so you can get your ticket to the concert, but you also get all this additional stuff. I mean, I'm telling you, that's it. I'm writing this sci-fi story about people having to pay to expose.
Oh, yeah, whippersnappers. Yeah. You don't know what they are gonna be like. Yeah, that is a really interesting point, and I would be I'm sure
they're
somebody.
Totally gonna do it.
Listen,
they're totally gonna do that.
Everybody monetizes everything, so I'm sure there's gonna be stuff like that. I should hope it won't be the norm.
I bet you, like my girlfriend would like go for the second tier, right? And she'd be look at that beautiful, tree, and I'll look over and it'll be like not unlocked. It'll say it on the tree, like tree not unlocked.
That would make me very sad.
Upgrade to tier 2 to see this beautiful tree.
I don't like that. That's upsetting.
Yeah, but her whole world will look like Lord of the Rings, and mine will look like Fallout.
Just cancel everything.
Mine will look all depressing and sad.
Why would you choose that as a reality?
I'm the Hobbiton. I'm like, yeah, it's trashy, it's wrecked, there's broken, there's a dead skeleton body.
I just saw Ashley go by picking up cans in the apocalypse.
Yeah,
like, that's going to be what you're going to see. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so photographer of the day.
Sorry, yeah.
That's okay. That was a good conversation, good tangent. Nexus 6. This is from Pav.
Yeah, nice.
Pav sends this in and says, taken with the Nexus 6 in the Maldives about a month ago. Looking forward to new episodes of your show.
Is it Maldives or Maldives?
Maldives? It might be Maldives.
I don't know.
I probably am mispronouncing it, and to the inhabitants of the Maldives or Maldives, I am sorry.
This looks so perfect. It looks like a Corona commercial.
I was just going to say, it looks like a Corona commercial.
It looks like a Corona commercial, and it looks amazing. And, that sort of like, oh, there's nobody here. Open chair. It could be this chair. That's the thing.
It could be you.
This chair is for you.
Yep.
No,
have a Corona.
This Corona is for you.
Yep.
And
that's true.
Yeah. Put a little Corona on the chair. Yeah.
I think I would like to do the show from that location. Can we just move there? Do you think CNET would give us a budget and just be like, okay, relocation.
Grow my hair long, my beard, wear a loincloth.
Teach surfing.
Good.
Teach surfing lessons.
As far as we know, there's no actual society or civilization around this picture.
I would make a
fantastic. Is this a panoramic or?
It looks like it, yeah.
Okay.
I would make a coconut computer, just like the professor in Gilligan's Island, but instead of a radio, I'd make a computer out of coconuts, and then and a webcam, and then we could do the show from the island.
Did he make a computer out of coconuts?
I don't think he did, but I would. It's his new Gilligan's Island. I'd be the professor, I feel like, on Gilligan's Island, because everybody would kind of tolerate me, but nobody really would like me on Gilligan's Island, and I'd be kind of nerdy and just not. I feel like I'd kind of be a social outcast. I feel like I'd be the professor.
People like the professor. They didn't like Gilligan.
People love Gilligan. The show's named after him.
People that watch Gilligan like Gilligan.
Oh, I see.
The people on the island
hated Gilligan.
Gilligan added
he ruined
nothing.
everything. Well, he always ruined it.
That's my point, is he added nothing. Neither did the skipper, really. He was just a big dude. Probably ate more food. Probably should have gotten rid of him.
Well, they should have eaten him.
They should have eaten the skipper, yeah.
Sorry,
skipper
guys.
Skipper soup? Something. Get rid of that guy.
Skipper stew, guys.
I mean, the girls were...
This episode turned dark all of a sudden. Eat the skipper. And that's your life lesson for the day. If you guys want to send us your photography, you can email us tomorrow@cnet.com. If you'd like to send us your suggestions for what they should have done on Gilligan's Island, also open to that. If you hate email, you can find us on social media. We're Tomorrow Daily on Snapchat, Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we're Tomorrow Daily TV over on Google+.
I think really most of the people on Gilligan's Island were useless. And I think that's what made the show
I think you're
comedic.
right. I think you're right.
I mean, that's why I'm not trying to say,
They were
look,
useless.
guys, calm down. But like,
You're going to
Skipper
get...
should have been eaten.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the brawn. Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And if you subscribe to CNET, not just us, so you can get your fill of all the new releases and whatnot. Also, if you're listening on the iTunes podcast, don't forget to rate and review. I'm glad that they had the actress on there, though. Like, it kind of like mixed things
Ginger?
up. Yeah.
The movie star?
They were all jerks. I mean, there was the Howells, and they were rich. And they wanted to have everything.
Marianne was pretty cool.
Yeah, she was kind of smart. But her and the professor were the only, like, if they were stuck on a desert island, it would be like really
heaven.
cool. Yeah,
It'd be heaven.
It'd
It'd be perfect paradise.
Are you a Marianne girl or are you a Ginger?
I loved Ginger's clothes, but I thought Marianne was. I'd want to hang out with Marianne. She was cool.
I can't. I can't make that decision.
No, see, that's what I'm saying.
I could never make that decision.
It's like you want to say Marianne to be like a normal person, but then it's also like, but Ginger just seems like so glamorous. Like as a kid, like I saw, but I was like, oh, Ginger seems so glamorous. I'd want to have her do my hair and wear her dresses and stuff. And then I'd see Marianne, I'm like, but Marianne's a person you want to hang out with.
She'd be your friend.
You want to go dig for seashells on the beach with Marianne. You want to talk about life.
So you're gonna do with your time on Gilligan's Island is dig for seashells?
Is there anything else to do?
Yeah, make your stupid computer.
Beat up Gilligan. Beat up
All right,
Gilligan.
well that's it.
All right,
sorry.
that's it for the show. Sorry, everybody. We're gonna
If
continue.
you hung on this long,
Sorry,
much respect.
You are a better person than we are because we're done. We just leapt right off of the cliff. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow with a brand new docket of weird, wonderful science fact crashing into
Wait,
science.
real quick, Logan, which one, Ginger or Marianne?
What are you guys talking about?
All right.
Perfect.
See you guys next time.
Wrap it up. Bye, guys.